once again, and welcome to the third topic in our 11-part series for real confident carers. Well, in this topic, we're talking about integration. How do you integrate into a new society and how necessary it is? And we're going to look at the best ways to do it. First of course, you have to know your place. So it's good to make use of local media, whether it's a newspaper or social media sites on Facebook, Instagram, whatever else might be there. And the second part, we're going to look at how you can make yourself, go visit local amenities, shops, pubs, libraries, and so on and so forth, and how you can best befriend other carers, both new and seasoned. So in the UK, media is always up to date. So it is advisable to follow the news, listen to the radio, patronize your social media. You get, of course, extra information of things that are happening on the ground. If you can, after time, do join some WhatsApp groups that relate to the things that you want to know and understand. Um, Almost everything has a social media site, so that should not be a problem. And people are always willing to engage and answer questions, but also make sure that you check the authenticity of these answers. Some people can just answer just to have their voices or words read. Also, make your effort to be out and about for shopping, you're exercising, and eating too. Don't just eat at home. Again, we've talked about saving. Sometimes, yeah, you can find cheap food. You don't have to cook every time. Right, and this helps you to be visible and facilitates you being acknowledged, welcomed, and included into the society. So, starting with local media, we have, as every other place, we've got our newspapers and local radio. So, you might find though that sometimes there are community radios in your area. Try to find that out as soon as you get there. And there are notice boards at different places, at community halls, hospitals. Just kind of give yourself time to explore these media options. Then, of course, like we said, we've got the social media, just like back home, Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitter. But make sure you follow them so that you also get up to date and up to speed. And also kind of know what topics are of interest to your new locale. Then, from that, make sure you're aware of the local bars, restaurants. For most people coming from Africa, you might think, oh, I don't want to go to bars, especially if maybe you're coming from a conservative country and you are a person of worship. Some of them are pretty harmless. They do sell alcohol, but you also get great food from there and you can actually meet people. So don't shun them. And then, but if you drink, that would actually be of your advantage, wouldn't it? Right. And then these restaurants, just make sure, like you kind of, if you can, go TripAdvisor, find out price ranges, um, if they've any, what their reviews are like, that helps. So, yeah, and it might come as a surprise, but like find out like where you could also get like great prices like Friday fish and chips or Sunday roast and gravy. Um, yeah, these are quite traditional foods in the UK, and yes, that might be quite interesting. The other thing, of course, places of worship is very good that you can find yourself a good place of worship if you're a Christian. It doesn't matter what religion you are. Here, there's almost everything: Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. You can find them online probably if you search. Okay. Um, then also, but also be aware of local people and their activities, right? When you're integrating, because there's some people who might just think, okay, bath once a week, it's cold, or they like to hug, or they don't want to be hugged. Yeah, so those familial boundaries, please be aware of them. It's important. Some people don't want their kids to be hugged, things like that. And it's important to notice what practices they are within your community, and then see how you can be accepting, or you can politely let them down and say, this is not what I'm like. Issues of time management, I think we spoke about them in the previous presentation. Personal space, so you can't be just sitting too close to people and they just don't understand what's happening, and also issues of matters of age. So where you think, okay, these are my age mates, they might not really resonate with you as your age mates back home, so you kind of need to be aware of that too. All right. And so when you are befriending, the last part is befriending new friends. So maybe when you came, you also coincided your arrival with the new care worker. It's quite good to have a contemporary, because you can go through the journey of learning about the UK or your neighborhood at the same time. And there could also be just other people in the neighborhood who are new. Be careful. I'm not saying just don't go around looking and asking people, are you new? Are you new? But you can network or get to a space where you can meet people who have been in the neighborhood for maybe 2 weeks, and they're also still finding their feet. And it kind of makes it fun to have someone. Yeah, and then, but at the same time, it's important to realize, like I said in the previous, just a few minutes ago, personal space. So if people are not welcoming, don't shove yourself into their face, don't impose yourself on others, and make sure that, yeah, because those things, they actually get to a point of legality. So privacy and space, they're legal issues and like human rights, especially if you're going to deal with children. Make sure you understand the government laws, stipulations, and guidelines, uh, and those ones will help you to protect you. Okay. And then, yes, it's also good to befriend old senior care workers. If you can find some care workers from your work, from your home country, again, it's good to sort of want to learn from them, but again, use your discretion, and just make sure, some people are not really happy that you're there, even the old ones, because they kind of feel like, oh, okay, so you've come now to replace us or things like that, and your situations might be very, very very different, right? So you must realize that you're a person with needs, and while you're here to do a job, you must of course make friends. So there are some long-term immigrants who've been here for a long time. They might have formed groups and cliques, but they might also be very willing to let new people in. And like I said, Farisai can hook you up with some of those groups because she's been around for a while, right? So get in touch with her and she might show you the direction, or just link you up with someone who might end up being your best friend. Okay, thank you again for listening to this presentation. For more information, you please go, if you want to order the Real Confident Carers Handbook, don't be shy. Get in touch with Farisai at realconfidentcarers@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and see you the next presentation.